Law students who graduated with Matt Gaetz signed on to a letter calling for the congressman to resign, but they also told us that they aren't surprised at all about his behavior. You know, I saw this story. I guess you could get anybody, you could go find anybody that's going to talk bad about you, but this is crazy bad. this is, look, we don't want you to be associated with our school here at William & Mary. Pick it up from there.
William & Mary Law School tells their students pretty much during orientation, part of our goal is to make citizen lawyers. We want you to go out in the world and we want you to use your talents, at least through part of your career, advocating on behalf of people in order to make the world better, to make the country a better place. Do your civic duty. Essentially, they're telling them, we need you to go out there and be good ambassadors for the school and be good human beings. And 500 students of William & Mary have signed on to this letter saying this guy, Matt Gaetz, doesn't meet these qualifications. He needs to resign from office. He's an embarrassment to alumni. He's an embarrassment to the law school. And about 36 of the people who signed onto this letter were actually in his class. They knew him personally. Yeah. And the most important thing to me is they said, he's the same guy he ever was. He never grew up. He never changed.
Well, they borrow from Thomas Jefferson's The Citizen's Lawyer. We need to have the Citizen's Lawyer out there. Although, when you look at the numbers are massive from that school who end up going to work for large corporations that aren't exactly citizens lawyers.
Right.
They're silk stocking lawyers that are working, you know, for the biggest corporations in the world. I don't really call that citizens lawyers. If you look at the percentage of them that actually do maybe what we do, actually go after corporations on behalf of consumers, I don't think you're going to find that many citizens lawyers. But, you know, it's every day where you have the media going after him, where there's some new edge of his story, but he's still standing.
He really is. And that's, you know, kind of the scary part, because we're coming to a point where the stories are slowing down a little bit with Matt Gaetz. We're certainly not getting many new revelations. But I think what is important is that the media is creating not just a narrative, but they're really establishing a pattern of behavior with him. And that's important. You know, if you do want to go after this guy, if you want to have a successful prosecution eventually, you have to have the pattern of behavior. A couple weeks ago, reporters went and they talked to his former high school classmates. The stories that the college or the law school classmates tell us are almost identical to what we heard from the high school classmates. Yeah. So we're establishing that this is the hard partying, you know, hey, maybe there's strippers here or not.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one thing he said in an email. Of course, they claim he was joking. But this is who this guy is, and it does corroborate some of the other stories we're hearing about the investigation.
Yeah, those stories. I'm going to have a barbecue. Make sure you bring plenty of liquor. Bring $1 bills. And, oh, by the way, bring some strippers, too. Yeah. But the whole vibe is the frat boy vibe. You know, you get it all the way back to high school, and you know, that seems to be who the guy is, but he's still standing. And everybody's saying it's going to be tomorrow. This investigation is taking. It ain't happening yet.
I'm losing faith. I really am.